It's Wednesday morning, July 24th, 2013, and this is Welwyn, Saskatchewan. Looking south, across the CPR tracks over there, and due east along Highway 308. The Manitoba border is about 2 miles down there. This is all undifferentiated glacial till in through here. Silts and sands and gravels and clays all mixed together, not bad farmland. Over there you can see the Capel River Valley about 5 miles upstream from the confluence of the Assiniboine at San Lazare, Manitoba. And then there he goes, heading off Railway Avenue into Welwyn. The Canadian Pacific Railway laid out the town site in the fall of 1902 and ran these rails through the next year. Started in Virden, Manitoba. There was a branch line known as the Pheasant Hills branch, went over to Long Lake and then headed northwards. Here we are looking across the site of where the station would have stood and the elevators. Initially, the CPR just dropped off a portable station, which they replaced in 1909 by a standard number 2 station, which was sold off and gone by 1972. On the corner there stood the Empire Hotel, built in 1905, a 3-story with a mansard roof. It survived into the 1980s as an apartment block. And these are the last survivors of a row of big old buildings that stood between Main and Dennis Street down there where the post office is and faced the railway. Would have stood right in here. Well, somebody's done our laundry today. And here's the side of that. Last lone survivor, all the tin work. Dates from 1910, this Harper's Fine Food. Charles Dumville, who built the hotel, was the first store owner on the town site in 1902. The station stood at mile 43.7 from Virden, Manitoba on the main line. And the post office was opened November the 1st, 1903 as a Welwyn station. Here's the rec center, a rink and a curling rink on Dennis Street, just south of the post office. And west of Main on Welwyn Avenue, we have Trinity United Church, built as Trinity Presbyterian back in 1905, and known briefly as a Union Church from 1917 when the Methodists and the Presbyterians got together in Welwyn, before official union in 1925. And looking westward back along Welwyn Avenue towards the church, we are on Main Street and the Welwyn Bells and Bows coffee shop with a takeout window. Not much going on here on Main Street. Frank's is still open, but there's a lot of vacant lots. You wonder where the Home Bank would have stood that came to town in 1911 and famously failed in 1923, wiping out all its investors. Oh, it's International, 1947-48. Co-op store would have stood on that corner down there since the 30s. And here's St. Paul's Anglican. It was moved in from the countryside somewhere in 1937. Don't know when it was built. A reminder of the public school. It was closed in 1977. St. Paul's is now the museum. The village was incorporated on November the 3rd, 1907, and remains so. And here's some more little memorials to the lost school. The village school was known as Woodbine School until 1930. It started off as a shack in 1905, and that was replaced by a couple of brick-built 2-story buildings in the early years. Closed in 77, and I think it would have stood right in here until remains were demolished in 1979. The kids go to Rokenville and Moosomin now. And we're just south of the village hall, and there's the Cenotaph, of course. Initially, there was no Roman Catholic presence in Welwyn, but in 1949 a church was organized, but it dissolved in 1958. However, the Society of St. Pius X has taken an interest in Welwyn, and a new church has been established. And this is the shrine of Our Lady of Fatima that was built in 2010 on South Main Street. And across South Main is Our Lady of Fatima Roman Catholic Church. It was formerly the Masonic Hall, and it was moved here about 1998 from further downtown. Renovated, trimmed all up. St. Michael's Academy is no longer in use. And looking west along Prospect Avenue, the Methodists built a church in 1903, which they sold to the Oddfellows after Union, and that could well have become the Masonic Hall over the years. Settlers began pouring into this area with the completion of the Canadian Pacific Railway about 20 miles south of here in 1882 on its way westward. The rural post office of Welwyn is established on January the 1st, 1884 to serve those settlers. It was closed on July 31st, 1906, and 4 months later, on December the 1st, the post office of Welwyn Station changed its name to just plain Welwyn, Saskatchewan.